On this journey, of course, I want to be a world champion one day.
What does infinity mean to you?
I feel like infinity is just a journey.
In wrestling, one loss does not mean the end of a career.
I was in a New Japan ring. Everybody was working together to push each other up.
3 stages of hell match. How did you mentally prepare?
We have to try and kill each other, basically. It's scary. I'll never lose myself as long as these people know me. I'm here, meant to be here. I can be something.
RingVille episode Onyx Amagi. Yo, what's up everyone? How you doing? My name is Kevin Herrera Sanchez, KHS, and welcome to another episode of RingVille. Today, I have the absolute pleasure of sitting down with LPW, Legacy Pros Wrestling's very own, the sensation, Onyx Amagi. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Thank you very much for taking the time and sitting down with me.
Thank you for having me.
No, of course, absolutely. You just had a really brutal match this past weekend. As you can see, there's Band-Aids on.
Yep.
How are you feeling overall?
Very sore. It was a first-time experience for sure, and I mean, I've seen wrestling, so wrestling, that this stuff happens. So,
right.
It's gonna happen again. So. It's good to prep it up.
Absolutely, and we'll get into that later.
For sure.
One of the first things I did want to ask you about is you are someone who seems very focused on doing what you need to do the right way, which is honorable, honest, and respectable.
That's right.
Why is that so important to you?
It has a lot to do, honestly, with how we're raised, honestly, and in terms of New York City in general. I think that a lot of the world is very dark, and there's not enough people thinking about being together in all of it, And I mean, you could translate that over to wrestling as well. There's a lot of selfish people, self-absorbed people that are just worried about their spot and where they want to be in the world, and they're not worried about the people around them. And I think at the end of the day, it's about us all growing together.
You even have this saying where you say, alone we can be amazing, but together we can reach infinity.
Yeah.
What does infinity mean to you?
Infinity means, honestly, endless possibilities. It means that together, this energy that we all put together, we are untapped. There's nothing that can defeat a combination, unity, I mean, that's what infinity is,
Is there like maybe a physical goal that right now would represent infinity for you?
Honestly, no. And I feel like infinity is just a journey. I feel like there's no destination to it. As I said, it's an unbound possibility. We are consistently climbing, grinding. Of course, there are goals in the way, right?
Yeah.
On this journey, of course, I want to be a world champion one day. Of course, I want to be at the WWE one day, someday. I want to be at the very top, WrestleMania, but that's not what infinity is.
Infinity is the journey that I'm taking all these people on, and we're going on together. That's what infinity is.
Okay. Hearing you speak and hearing the way you talk and just seeing how positive you are, there is a sense of an anime character-esque to you. Is that planned?
So, I know this interview is about me. Yeah. But I have a question for you. Because everybody keeps selling. But what is anime?
Oh, you don't know? Anime is, I don't want to say cartoon because I feel like that's disrespect, but it's an art style originated in Japan. It has these very incredible, amazing, touching stories at times where, you heard of Naruto? No? One Piece?
One piece of flat.
Just one piece? No? It's okay. It's okay. I just made the assumption, right? But
So, the one thing that I've kind of, I guess, grasped my personality from, if we're going on that, I've watched stuff like Power Rangers.
Okay.
Power Rangers is where I grasped that from. Is it like anime civil?
No. Power Rangers is dope though. What was your favorite one?
Honestly, you wouldn't know this probably, but my gear is based off one of the Power.
Is it really?
Series. Power Rangers Jungle Fury.
Okay.
The Wolf Ranger, the
purple one?
Ranger? Yeah, the whole like design idea.
Yeah.
When I drew it up, it was based off him.
What was it about that ranger that like connected with you?
Honestly, just
It
he
looked
just
good.
looked cool. It's a wolf, you know. I like the whole idea of that series in general because it was getting in touch with your zen and your spirit, and getting in touch with your spirit. You know, really like, you know, channeling energy, pushing it out.
Okay.
I feel like that's me, you know.
Okay.
And I think in general, Power Rangers have had that effect on me in the sense of, like, I relate to the message that they're trying to put out, and the message that they put out is the idea of unity. Alone, one Rangers, you know, they're awesome, but together, they go into this Megazord and they destroy people, and they can do anything as long as they're together, right? And that's
Okay.
yeah.
So is that also where the sensational comes from?
I suppose so. I guess not directly from Power Rangers, but from this idea of just meditation and being in connection with yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's what I believe in. And you know, I go in the ring, I do this, you know?
Right.
And that's just to show everyone that you got to just keep it cool, keep it chill, and you know, nobody can get ahead of you if you're, you know, level down.
Right. Is that something you learned to do and be, or you had to work on that?
I feel like that's something that I wouldn't say I inherently have been, because my family always says that I've always been a calm kid.
Right.
Since baby, I never cried as a baby. Growing up, I was always the calmest in the room. So I've always been the kind of guy that has like the level head. And I feel like it's something that you work on in the sense of you consistently progress on it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's always been an inherent thing for me. Like that's always just been how my mindset has been.
And it's interesting to get into wrestling because it's very much the opposite
That's
of
true.
you actually have to fight people
Yes.
and hurt your opponent to ways where it's like you get them down for either a 3 count or a submission. How do you maybe grasp that idea when first getting into wrestling?
Well, I guess the idea is always, you know how they say the calmest kid in the room is the most dangerous? Because at the end of the day, right, I am calm, but I'm full of emotions. I have anger, I have sadness, that just don't show.
Okay.
Wrestling is a place where I can show that. And it's not, for me, it's not a place where I'm there out to hurt anybody, but it's a release in a sense, right? We're all there for friendly competition, at least in my head. We're there for progressively, you know, hurt each other in a very safe manner. You know? We're not trying to kill each other, but we're trying to put each other down. And that's it for me.
It's interesting that you say you're there for friendly competition because wrestling at times can be very personal. And you find yourself in a very personal rivalry with LPW's own as well, Mikee G. We talked about your Band-Aids earlier in the episode, and he's the reason you have those.
Yes.
You just competed in a 3 stages of hell match
That's right.
at LPW's biggest show of the year, Inferno. Talk to me a little about like where does the issue stem from on your side?
I hate to kill it for everybody in the sense of everybody thinking that I have this huge problem with Mikee G. Mikee G even thinking that I have this huge problem with him. I've never had a problem with Mikee G. I think that Mikee G is one of the best in LPW. But he gets in his own head.
Okay.
He gets over his own head. He expands it to the point that nobody else can say anything to him. He has a one-track mind. We wrestled in November. He beat me, and everybody saw that he hit me with a low blow. But at the end of the day, if I had seen that coming, maybe I would have been the victor. I'm not going to use that as an excuse for my loss. I lost. At the end of the day, I lost. But he thinks that I complained to the general manager, that I went and asked for a second match. And asked for a second match. They saw what he did. And they were like, well, you deserve a second shot, and I'm showing that was a fluke. Or that he could beat you clean. And then we had a second match, and it ended on very chaotic terms with some random guy coming in and attacking me. And him running off, like, I just, I never had a problem with Mikee G. I had a problem with the fact that maybe he ran away in that second match.
Yeah.
When we could have both defended the sanctity of our match. I have a problem with the fact that he has a problem with me. Because at the end of the day, this is, as I said, supposed to be a friendly competition.
Right.
We're supposed to be working on this together to move to the top. I'll see him down the road, we fight, and then at the end of the day, we shake each other's hands.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want it that way. He wants to be the only one at the top. And as I said earlier in this episode, it's lonely at the top. And once you fall down, you're going to meet everybody that you've stepped on the way up.
When he was here, he said something very interesting in terms of why he has an issue with you. He said that when you came back from the New Japan Dojo, LPW tested you to see if you were ready against him. And he thinks that you failed.
I feel we fought like warriors. I feel like we put on a show for the crowd that nobody had seen in a while in LPW. I think that we equally did a very great job. He was the better man that day. In wrestling, one loss does not mean the end of a career.
Yeah.
He wanted that to be the end of me. And I don't know why.
And then as things go along, those first two matches, right? And then you had a fatal four-way. Yes. And then you did get the win there.
I did.
And then he didn't like that.
He didn't like that? He said that it was a fluke because there were two other people in the match. But, if we look at it, right, at the end of that match, the other two people weren't there. They were on the outside fighting themselves. And then it was just me and him.
Yeah.
And I pinned. I hit him with a German suplex bridge and I got him. Yeah. So, I don't know. He has a one-track mind, as I said. He has a mind that if he doesn't think it's going his way, he's going to shift it so it's in his favor. And that's just a him thing.
Yeah, and then that did culminate in the 3 stages of Hell match.
Yep.
How did you mentally prepare for that match?
Honestly, it was hard. We talk about
how you get into Zen, right? Is it a progressionary thing? You have to train yourself for it. Sometimes it's harder to get into it than other times. To think that this competition that was supposed to be cool and chill and friendly gets to a point where, we have to try and kill each other, basically. It's scary. I was scared, but I wasn't scared of what would happen to me. I was scared of what I could do. I've always been. And this is cracking down on, stuff that I've never talked about, but, I'm from Spanish Harlem. I'm a Puerto Rican young man with a family that has grown up on the streets fighting. I've never been part of that, but I know that part of that lineage is deep within my soul. And that's scary. I have family members that black out and fight and hurt people bad. And I don't want to be that person. I guess that's also why I am the way I am. So it was hard to try to get there, to try to understand that no matter what, if I wanted to win, if I wanted to even show the best version of myself in this scenario, I have to understand that he's going to try to hurt me, so I have to hurt him.
Did you ever in the match feel like there was something that would go too far and you would feel like you would lose a bit of your identity?
Honestly, when I was in there, energy of the crowd, the fact that everybody felt the same amount of emotion, the energy, I could just feel that it was right. This is the way that it had to end. And I can't lose myself because these people, they know me. So, you know, I hit him with a chain, put him through tacks, put him through a table. But I'll never lose myself as long as these people know me.
Going into more of your history and just how you became you. Last year, you spent some time at the New Japan Dojo out in California. What was that experience like for you?
I smile every time I think about it. It was some of the hardest work I've ever done, the most structured work I've ever done in terms of training, and, well, I loved it out there. The air in Cali is different. In California, it's just, everybody is for each other. I feel like when I went out there, it felt like everybody was working together to push each other up.
Okay.
It wasn't a mountain that we're all individually climbing. We're all tied to the same rope, pulling each other up. That's what it felt like out there. And when we were in the dojo working hard, and, you know, sometimes, you know, you feel your body crumbling, but then it's like this adrenaline. Like, yeah, I'm dying, but I'm awake. It felt amazing. And then to be able to be on, you know, the New Japan Academy showcase, oh man, I was in the New Japan ring.
Right.
You know, and even if it's just the academy, it's the dojo showcase, it's not actually Japan itself, but I was in there, part of their company. One of the biggest wrestling companies in the world. And I got a win. Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah. What would you say you learned about yourself while training there?
Honestly, I learned that I'm better than I think I am. You know, before I went out to Cali, I was part of Battle Royals, and I never really got a spot on the LPW card. And I put that on myself. Because at the end of the day, sure, somebody can look at you and go, okay, yeah, you're good. Let's put you in a match and see how good you are. But if you're not showcasing that in training every day, showcasing that you're showing progression, then why would they look at you? Why would they pick you to be in a match? So when I went out in California, I learned that I had more in me. That I wasn't just some guy in a battle royal, some face. I can be something.
What are some of the lessons, either in the ring or outside the ring, that you took away from the dojo?
Honestly, with the dojo, it took me back into my folk style wrestling days. Because in high school, I did folk style wrestling, so they were really keen in New Japan Dojo on what they call natural wrestling, which is essentially looking into the idea of very deep stances, grappling hard, strong, keeping the cardio up, and they were deep into like the idea of like these techniques that were very similar to folk style wrestling. Even we had Kushida come in, who he did I believe freestyle wrestling before his pro wrestling days. Okay. And he was showing us techniques from his freestyle days and how he incorporates that into pro wrestling and into different like holds and stuff like that. And that made me feel like, okay, I already have this background. I need to dive deeper into that.
Kushida, he's like one of the greatest juniors of all time.
Yes.
Like, what was it like learning from him?
It was amazing. He was very kind, respectful, and he, like, it was honestly very striking, but it was like also down to earth in the sense of, yeah, I'm here, and I meant to be here, and we got a lot of compliments from him, and he got to he watched us wrestle, and he liked what we did. So it was fun. It was awesome. It was awesome to be able to train under Kushida for a few months.
In terms of the growth that you felt before, right, and then after the program, what do you say were the skills you picked up on the most?
So before going to New Japan Dojo, it was a lot of cardio, right?
Okay.
Amazing Red always teaches the idea of thinking on your feet, right? Of reacting rather than acting, right?
Okay.
It's the idea of, okay, this guy's gonna be doing all this stuff. You gotta be able to stay on the same page as him, right? If you wanna like overcome somebody who's fast, who's strong, you have to be faster. You have to be strong. You have to know what it is to be that, you know?
Right.
And he was deep into the idea of the basics, fundamentals, and really knowing how to like tighten up your techniques and stuff like that. And he was also big on physique and stuff like that as well.
Okay.
So it was very all around in the initial years of House of Glory before I went to the New Japan Dojo. Now, when I went to the New Japan Dojo, it was like taking those skills and taking them to 100, but like also breaking it down one by one. Because in House of Glory, it's very speedy. You know, we're trained by Amazing Red, of course. You know, this guy speak into the crowd. You know,
that's great.
So it's like he's a high fly guy. He's a guy that is very blitz. New Japan was very strong base. It was like, how do I compare this? Like New Japan's a gorilla, and House of Glory, it's like a cheetah. You know, both very powerful creatures, but they have their own strengths.
Right. Yeah. And there's different perspectives that come with training age. And it's always interesting getting a mixture of the two.
For sure.
I like that. Yeah. Well, once you came back from the New Japan Dojo, there was a certain confidence to you. And it was that idea that you can be something. And that kind of culminated in you getting a shot at the LPW World Championship against Jody Ara.
Yeah.
Like, what was that experience like for you?
Honestly, I couldn't believe it. I mean, the night of course, you bring your gear. But I mean, I hadn't been announced for anything. So it's like, I was like, okay, last show I won a Fatal 4-Way. I got told to bring my gear, that there was something special happening that night. I was like, okay, cool. Let's get going. Let's see what's up. Yeah. And then I hear the promo. You know, he gave me all these compliments and he called me out, and I'm like, what? Sure. Yeah. I mean, if anybody is gonna be there to usher in a new era, right? Gotta have one of the people that's part of this new era, right?
Right.
A lot of the matches that I've seen for the World Championship in LPW, and I mean, I'm sure the crowd has noticed it. A lot of us backstage noticed it. It's not really students getting shots. Not a lot of students get shots at the LPW World Title. The LPW World Championship it seems like it's like this purple globe that gives you access to the rest of the world, right? And sparingly you get a shot at that. And if you can grasp it, then you can see the rest of the world. And what I mean by that is, you know, Jody Ara, he's faced all these great competitors. Jordan Oliver, Alec Price, and most recently he faced Jackson Drake, right? So, I mean, that says something within itself. And now to say that I'm part of that, you know, catalog, to say that I've wrestled this guy who's wrestled these many people, it's cool. But I also hope that other people get that opportunity. I want to bring something back. You mentioned Mikee G, right? He was talking a lot about how he believed that he deserved that shot. I think he should get that shot. I think LPW should give him that shot. At the end of the day, I've seen it firsthand. Mikee G is one of the most hardworking guys in LPW. And sure, we've hurt each other, clearly. And we've had personal beef, and I mean, he doesn't like me very much, and I'm not going to say that I particularly like him.
Yeah.
But I won't deny work. He hasn't. And I think he should get an opportunity.
Oh, there you go. Very honorable, respectable, of course. Man, what are some of your proudest accomplishments in your career?
Okay. I gotta go down a list then, right? I think the first thing starts with the beginning, an open house. House of Glory open house. And well, I think that's where my first accomplishment was.
Mm-hmm.
We're there, I went with one of my friends actually, because, you know, as I said, I did folk style wrestling in high school. So
Yeah.
I had a friend from there. We had the same birthday. Shout out my boy Jaden. And, you know, we literally have the same birthday. We've talked about wrestling our whole time knowing each other. And well, when I decided I was going to go to the House of Glory open house, I was like, yo, bro, we should do this. Let's get it together, you know?
Yeah.
I wanted to be a tag team with him, honestly. I was going to start off tag team. But so we ended up going to the open house. And, well, we did really good to the point that Private Party, one of the guys, Isaiah Cassidy, you know, picked us out of the crowd, told us that we should do this, and I thought that was awesome. Yeah. For me, I felt that was one of the biggest moments of my career, in the sense of telling me that, yeah,
he sees something in you.
exactly, that I should do this. So I was like, okay, let's get it. Secondly, I'll say my first battle royal. First battle royal, I made it to Final Four. And I mean, I didn't win the battle royal, but I think Final Four is pretty good. I got the crowd behind me. They were understanding the unity, the energy that it takes to be part of this. And that was the first real step on the journey. And I feel like that is a big accomplishment as well. Taking the trip out to Cali, debuting in front of the New Japan audience, and then having my debut at LPW, that was big for me. Because I'd always wanted to be part of the card, you know, part of the card that has Jody Orr, that has Dante Griffith, that has, you know, Raheem Royal, all these great stars. I wanted to be there with them.
Yeah.
And on that night, it was the start of being there. That was my debut with them. And then get to face Jody Orr for the World Championship. That was big. That was real big. My first title match.
Right.
And then I guess my final one, 3 Stages of Hell. First main event. That was special.
Well, congratulations on all those. And I look forward to seeing what else you do. Yeah. Anything you'd like to plug to the cameras?
Well, we're going on a journey, guys. And at the end of the day, you could follow me. You could follow anybody else. But know that your energy means something. So let's keep pushing till infinity.
Oh. Am I good there?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's perfect.
Well, everyone, thank you very much for watching. If you want to follow him on social media, check out his matches. There will be links in the description below. Till next time.
Till next time.
We out.